At this session, we're going to focus on the differences between the assemblies and also the groups and talk about them more. The last session, I told you the basic and fundamental differences between these two tools. In groups, if we modify one of the members, the modification will be applied on in other members as well, actually other members, while this would not happen in the assemblies. The assemblies are independent to each other. But at this session, we're gonna deal with another important issue, which is placing tags. In the last session, as I told you, we convert these two elements to a node window by assembling them, creating a new object, and at this condition, only one tag could be placed on this object, since the assembly is recognized as a single object, like the type of, for example, WD-TO3. But if we do not assemble these elements, let me make a copy from this object. I click and drag, and then I make a copy. I place it here. Well done. Then I select this assembly to disassemble the elements. After that, I'm gonna place tags on these elements. Since here I got two curtain walls. Here in Annotate tab, as you know, the elements are not assembled yet, or they are disassembled. Here if I place tag, the tags will be placed on both of these elements. As you can see, one for the curtain wall. These two objects are considered independently. They got no relation with each other. So we are not allowed to specify only one name and one tag, because they are separated and independent to each other. But if I assemble these elements in the next one, as you can see, all of them are selected, so we are allowed to specify only one tag. Check it out. I place a tag. As you can see, the tag is associated to the whole geometry. There is no tag loaded for assemblies. Do you want to load one now? So at such a condition, we should create one. But before modeling a new family of tag for the assemblies, I select the assembly and then I open type properties or edit type to specify the model of this assembly. Let me define the model. For instance, WD-TO3 in model. So when I'm gonna place the tag on this assembly, here in file, I open a new family template file, and then in English, annotations, by this way, annotations, and here in the list of template files, we do not have assembly tag template file, and it does not matter because we can use metric generic tag since we do not have a specific template file for modeling the families for tags of the assemblies actually, so we can use metric generic tags instead. Well done. As you remember, we specified the property of model in the project. First of all, let me delete the note, and then I'm gonna design the label or the tag. Then in create label, I click on label. After that, I should specify the field or the parameter that I want this label to associate. As you can see, we got the related properties of the assembly. So I choose model, I add it to the parameter's name, and then I click on OK. Well done. Check it out. Here is the label, model number. Then I can adjust the position of the label. Very well. Then if I place this tag on my assembly, the associated model will be displayed. I save the family as, let me specify the file name as WinTag assembly. By this way, I save it, and then I want to load it into my project. Check it out. If I load it into my project, then in Annotate tab, tag, I click on tag. Here we got the loaded tags, assembly tag. Actually, I forgot to specify the family category of the tag, so I open the family again. In family category and parameters, I choose generic model tags. I choose assembly tags, and then OK. And then I load it into my project again. We got another problem. Since the family is already loaded, we are not allowed to load it again. So let me save the family again as, by this way, a different name, WinTag assembly, to be able to load it into project. Save and then load. Let's check it out. Here, as you can see, we can place the tag on the assembly. I choose freehand. Look. By this way, you can display the model. This is one of the most fundamental functions or purposes of placing tags on the assemblies. But assume that if we had made a group, I group these elements, a model group. After creating a group, I want to associate a name, or actually specify a name to the model of this group in edit type. So this time, instead of creating an assembly, I want to create a group and then specify the model, but there is no parameter. So how can I specify the model like WD03? Some of you may say that we are able to create custom parameters in project parameters and then add a new parameter to this model group. So in parameters, I find model group, I check instance by this way. However, I can use type, I check type, and let me specify the category, again model groups, by this way, and then I assign the name, model, text as type, and then I click on OK. Let's check it out. The parameter is added to the model groups. Check it out in the type properties. We can assign the name. But did we solve the problem? W03. Well done. I click on OK. Following that, I'm gonna place the tag on the group to display the model. In Annotate tab, tag by category. In tags, let me see the loaded tags for the model categories. For the model groups actually. Or we can create one. So let us model a tag in the family environment. After creating the parameter, let us model the tag in English annotation. Let me see. In annotations, then in generic tags, I delete the previous one and the note. But first of all, let me specify the family category to the model groups. Let me see. As you can see in the list of family categories, there is no model groups. So here is the problem. Check this out. Can you find model group? Or we can choose generic model tags instead. There is no specific category for the model groups in the template file of the metric generic tags. So you're able to specify a parameter for your model groups. There is no category here to associate the tag to it. So the specified parameter can be useful and be displayed in the schedule table, but it has no function in placing tags. And if I check the list of loaded tags and symbols, we won't find any category which is related to the model groups, and then associate the tag to the specified parameter of the model group, while we can use assembly. All in all, the model groups do not accept the tags. In other words, tags are not acceptable in model groups. And if you are going to create a window, for example a knock window, for instance, we want to create some types from our curtain wall. At such a condition, if we assemble the elements, let me see, let me find the assembled elements. Here there is, as you can see. Wait for a second please. Here, when you assemble your selected elements by this way, Revit enables you to associate a tag in tag by category. By this way, then you can display the model or whatever parameters you want in the tag. Let me specify model like curtain wall, for example, CW1. So this is one of the most vital functions and purposes of creating assemblies. It enables us to place tags. However, you may find some other approaches, but this is the best and simplest way. As I place tags in the file project, and then you can place the tags wherever you want. For instance, let me specify the glass facade or glass facade 6 or 5, and then associate the tag. Very well. Don't forget to take assemblies into consideration.